The sky darkened. The power went out one by one. Cities began to burn. The sirens fell silent and never sounded again. The streets were filled with abandoned vehicles. Markets were looted. Then the water stopped, and after that, the silence came. The danger was no longer just outside. There was hunger, there was disease, and worst of all, people were afraid of each other. The homes you once thought were safe were turning into traps, and places to run were disappearing. So in this hell, were those high places that come to mind for survival, the rooftops, really a shelter? Protocol 1. Evaluation. Rooftops may look safe, but before you climb up, understand this. Height alone won't keep you alive. The right evaluation will. Let's start with the biggest advantage. Rooftops physically separate you from the chaos at street level. You stay out of reach of gangs, uncontrolled animals, or rapidly rising floodwaters. Wind often disperses smoke, protecting both your visibility and your breathing. It's also an ideal place to collect rainwater, and even a simple system can sustain you for days, sometimes weeks. If the building is structurally sound, observing from above means spotting approaching threats before anyone else. And, in an apocalypse, seeing early often means living longer. With the right setup, solar panels, or even a small rooftop garden can transform a short-term hiding place into something far more sustainable. But every advantage that comes with height has a cost. Nights are colder, winds hit harder, and rain makes direct contact. Without proper insulation, your body temperature can drop faster than you expect, and illness approaches quietly. Carrying food and water upstairs becomes a serious energy expense over time. Elevators won't work. Every trip up or down is a calculated risk. And fire, rooftops are far more dangerous than they appear in this scenario. Wind drives flames upward, escape routes are limited, and you can find yourself trapped in moments. That's why you should examine the building before settling in. Is it reinforced concrete or old enough to fail when pressure rises? Is it abandoned or has someone claimed it before you? Check the rooftop door. A lock provides security, but never allow it to become your only way out. Always prepare an alternative route. A rope ladder or secondary escape path can be the difference between survival and catastrophe. And remember this as you climb. Anything you forget will force you to go back down. So stock up from the start. Water filters, long-lasting food, essential first aid supplies, a radio, and, if necessary, a simple means of defense. These aren't comforts, they buy you time. Protocol 2. Rooftop settlement strategies. Once you decide to take refuge on a rooftop, every step you take can either transform it from a temporary hiding place into a functional base or unknowingly leave you exposed. Move forward by reducing risk, not by rushing. Start by securing the rooftop area. Scan your surroundings carefully. Loose objects, antennas, or pipes don't just create noise, they can also become serious fall hazards. Secure anything that might shift. Then, create protection against the wind. Even a simple wall or canopy can make a significant difference. Old tarps, thick sheets, or removed panels can serve the purpose well. Establish your defense and observation setup early. By nature, rooftops are powerful vantage points. A pair of binoculars or a simple telescope allows you to notice environmental changes before they reach you, and every threat detected early earns you the most valuable resource in a collapse: time. When it comes to defense, silence is your greatest ally. Noise attracts attention, and attention makes people look up. For that reason, prioritize quiet weapons whenever possible. Tools like a bow or a slingshot help you remain unnoticed until using louder options becomes unavoidable. Yet one of the least discussed dangers of rooftop living isn't physical, it's mental. Isolation slowly distorts perception, weakens decision-making, and turns small mistakes into critical ones. Build routines that protect your psychological resilience. Simple habits such as keeping a daily log, checking your equipment, or scanning the perimeter at set times can prevent you from losing your sense of control. And never forget this: no matter how well you establish it, a rooftop is not a permanent home. It is an observation point, a temporary stop. The key to survival is not becoming attached to where you are, but remaining prepared enough to leave when necessary. Protocol 3: Daily Survival Routines on the Rooftop. One of the least discussed truths about survival is this: even in the middle of chaos, life goes on, and disorder is one of your greatest enemies. That's why building a disciplined routine isn't about comfort, it's directly about staying alive. Your morning routine should begin with observation and resource checks. Move as soon as the sun rises. First, scan your surroundings. Slowly sweep the streets, nearby buildings, and the horizon with binoculars. Moving groups, rising smoke, or unusual animal behavior can all signal an approaching threat. Then check your supplies. Note your water levels, food quantity, and battery status. Don't rely on memory, because under stress, the mind tends to forget details. If you have a rainwater collection system, adjust it as needed. The cool hours of the morning are the safest time for physical tasks, so complete energy-demanding work such as repairs, gathering, and organizing within this window whenever possible. By midday, your focus should shift to energy management. The afternoon is when exhaustion often goes unnoticed, so make your nutrition deliberate. Eat small portions and prioritize protein whenever possible. Canned goods and nuts provide long-lasting energy. Create an insulated corner protected from wind and direct sunlight for rest. Even briefly closing your eyes can restore mental clarity. If you have an energy system, charge your devices during these hours. Tending to a rooftop garden while the sun is high can support faster plant growth, but don't underestimate extreme heat. Sweating depletes fluids faster than you think. Wear lightweight clothing and remain in the shade whenever possible. Your evening routine marks the transition into survival mode. Before darkness falls, review your defenses. Check your barricades and, if possible, set simple noise traps. Objects that produce sound when disturbed make it far harder for anyone approaching to remain unnoticed. Make daily logging a habit. What did you see today? What is the state of your supplies? And what is your body telling you? Small symptoms, when caught early, don't become major problems. Then think ahead to the next day. Don't neglect nighttime warmth. Get into your sleeping bag, preserve your body heat, and stay as dry as possible. Cold drains energy without warning. If you have a radio, listening in the dark not only provides information, but also keeps you connected to the outside world. Because as the nights grow longer, loneliness grows heavier. Protocol 4: Rooftop Exit Strategies. Learning how to live on a rooftop is only one part of survival. What truly makes the difference is knowing when to leave. Every shelter weakens over time, and those who remain static are often the first to fall to a changing world. Accept this from the very beginning: a rooftop is not a permanent home. It is only a stop along the way. Prepare your exit plans in advance. If you wait until the last moment to decide, you're already too late. So when should you abandon it? When supplies drop to dangerous levels, when activity in your area begins to increase, or when you identify a more sustainable location. Sometimes, the smartest move is to act before conditions deteriorate. Before heading down, walk the path in your mind again and again. Know it well enough that you wouldn't hesitate even in complete darkness. Don't carry more than you need. Speed is more valuable than weight. And don't just prepare it. Don't forget to think long-term. A rooftop is not a solution, it's a transition zone. The ultimate goal should always be finding a more sustainable place. Areas with natural protection, lower visibility, or better access to resources. If you have a radio or signaling equipment, you may consider calling for help, but be cautious. Every signal you send can attract not only allies, but the wrong people as well. In conclusion, in a collapse that feels like the end of the world, rooftops can provide short-term refuge thanks to their elevated position, offering advantages such as surveillance, resource collection, and distance from street-level threats. However, disadvantages like cold exposure, difficult access, limited escape routes, and fire risk must never be underestimated. Rooftops may be an option, but they are rarely the best one. Use this guide to stay prepared, practice often, and strengthen your survival skills. Remember, your greatest weapons are your mind and your plan. What do you think about this protocol? Do you have an alternative perspective on rooftops? Share it in the comments, like the video, and subscribe for more survival guides. Preparedness is survival, so be ready.